So what's up, everybody? So as you can see, Yukon is back on all 24s, all 4 24s. So we're 24 cubed now, instead of 24 whatever to the third power is. But anyway, I got the tire swapped out today. I've only been home, I think, about 15 minutes. I went ahead and put the regular wheel back on, the spares over there. I also got the Yukon washed. Now it looks really nice and clean for now, till my dirty ass hands start touching it. But yeah, so the tire was obviously damaged. The wheel was not. I thought that it was a nail or something like that I ran over. No, it wasn't neither of those. It wasn't nowhere near any of those. It was somebody's fucking tool. So this is what I ran over. So this is the end that was showing out of the tire, because you can see how it's rounded off from where it was hitting the ground. And this is why I felt it picking the vehicle up. So this is the side that actually hit the bead of the tire and actually punctured it and destroyed it. I don't know what it looked like. I didn't really ask to look at it, but they handed this to me, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense, because it did exactly what I thought. So if this is the top of the tire, like if this is sitting just like this on the tire and the hole's at the top, this is exactly how it went in. So when it went in like that and hit the bead, and that's exactly what I thought happened. So there's that. But tires on there, ready to roll. I could have gotten them to probably put it on, but I didn't really think about it. And I was like, nah, because they were kind of slammed, and there's everybody. They were trying to get to everybody at one time, or, in due time, and all I had was that one tire. So it was quicker for me to just say, all right, here you go, the wheel's off of the vehicle, get it done. And they got it done. I only waited about 30 minutes because there's people ahead of me, and I can't really get mad about that. So, yeah, so Yukon's all ready to go now. And something else I forgot to mention, when you lower the rear end of these vehicles, is you're going to have to loosen all the bolts for the suspension and re-tighten them when it's at rod height, because now it rides weird and it rides really shitty. But that's because all of the rubber bushings in the upper and lower control arms and the panhard bar or whatever, it's at angles that it's not supposed to be at. It's not at stock height. So you need to go back and fix that. I'm not going to worry about that, because I'm going to be replacing all of that stuff anyways with stuff from Spone Performance or whoever I can find stuff from. I don't really want black or red, because I don't have anything. I mean, I have black wheels, but I want purple, because I'm going to paint the calipers purple, and I just like the color purple. I mean, you can sue me if you want. I just like purple, because it's something that nobody ever does. Everybody always does the black or the red or the yellow or whatever. I don't want that. And like with the calipers, it's the same thing. Everybody always does red, or they do yellow, or they do black, or they do gray. I don't want that. I want purple. And I have stuff planned for the front end, for the front brakes, which I'm not going to talk about because that'll give it away, and I want it to be a surprise. I'm not putting Brembos or nothing like that on it, so don't think that that's what I'm doing. I ain't got that kind of money. Which the kit for the front end of this is not that bad. It's like $2,500, I think, and that comes with, I think, 14-inch rotors, 14 or 15-inch, which is a lot bigger than what's on there now. I think that's got 11 or 12-inch rotors on it right now on the front. So, and the dual piston calipers, I think, or 4-piston, I don't know. But yeah, so I've also been throwing around the idea of taking that stuff on the bottom. So this body cladding right here, I've thought about taking all that off, because it's just double-sided taped on like regular door side molding that's on the Tahoes and Yukons that goes down the center. Just because, for one, there's a shitload of dirt, I'm sure, behind them, and two, the rear on the driver or passenger side had got stained from where I was running the exhaust after I put the long tubes on and all that, and you got fuel all over it from where it was running kind of rich. So yeah, it's brown-ish and it's not white, so it's ugly, and I want to get rid of it. And I don't have to worry about that now, because the exhaust doesn't do that anymore. And even if it did, it wouldn't go and do that And plus, I want to be able to use my tip again. And I feel like it would look a lot better with the Denali front end and then just having the regular cladding. I mean, the regular doors with nice and glossy white. I've also wanted to debadge it. I'm going to take the Yukon and the GMC off of the rear of the tailgate and make that all nice and pretty. The Yukon needs to be buffed and waxed. It really needs to be paint corrected because the paint's in really good shape on most of the panels, like the roof and some of the doors and stuff. There are some spots that need to be touched up or resprayed completely, like the hood and the front bumper need to be completely resprayed, just because the bumper's got a bunch of scratches and shit on it, and then the hood's got way too many rock chips to try to do by hand. So it'd be quicker and easier just to do the same thing, and it's gloss white, so it's fairly easy to blend. So, but anyways, like I said, I'm kind of debating on if I want to keep the Denali on the doors or not. I kind of like it because that way you know what it is, but I mean, it's kind of obvious with the front bumper and the grill and all that. It's kind of obvious what it is. And then with the rear bumper, but then a lot of people will be like, oh, well, no, you just put that on a regular Yukon. So, but then again, I really don't give a shit what people think. So kind of me debating back and forth with myself. I do want to get rid of these, or at least get them painted. I want some Escalade pillars because they're nice and smooth and they look a lot better. Because that I don't like. That's too much. Like I need the white back there too. I've already got the black wheels and all that. I don't like that. That just looks tacky and looks cheap. I mean, it's just plastic. But what else? But yeah, so I haven't put the stock torsion keys back in like I said I was gonna do. I was gonna do that today, but I really ain't in the mood. I ain't really feeling it right now, so I'm not gonna do that. And there's just a little update on the Crown Vic real quick. So I did replace the 2 cylinders. I replaced the spark plugs with Motorcraft, and I replaced the coil packs with Motorcraft, and it gave me a few days of it running just fine. But then yesterday on the way home, it threw the check engine light again, started running like shit. So unfortunately, we're back to square one, and I'm not really in the mood for that. So I've already posted it on Facebook for sale. It's on Marketplace. It's also on another page that's close. That's for the surrounding areas near me and the area I'm in. So needless to say, she's up for sale because I'm just tired of dealing with it. I'm not spending no more money on it. I've already spent enough on it as it is. So, I just don't care anymore. I'd rather work on the Yukon and do stuff to it. Especially since I know that if I go to put this on Facebook, I could get rid of this a lot faster than I could get rid of this piece of shit. So, because it's the mileage that's going to really stop people from buying that, because it's got 240,000 miles on it. Then a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, it's got blah, 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 and people want to buy it for $2,000, and we're not doing that. Especially not that it's got timing chains and all that stuff done to it. A lot of people don't want to do that kind of stuff, and I've already got it done, so there you go. Well, timing chain. Well, no, it's got 2. Never mind. Timing chains. I was right. But there's really nothing else I can do to the Yukon at the moment. I mean, I want to put new fog lights on it and new tail lights, but I'll wait a little bit for that. But whenever I sell that turd over there, I'll do a little bit more to this. Like, I'll put a cam in it, and I'll go get the exhaust fixed, and I'll go get it tuned. The only problem with the Yukon and getting it tuned is it is all-wheel drive, so a lot of people don't have all-wheel drive dynos, especially for a lot of the LS based shops that I know of around me. They all work on basic stuff that's rear-wheel drive only, so like Camaros and Trans Ams and Firebirds and Corvettes and stuff like that. They'll work on trucks, but typically the trucks are rear-wheel drive or two-wheel drive. Like the Tahoe, I could have got dynoed no problem because it was rear-wheel drive. Well, it was four-wheel drive, but it was primarily rear-wheel. This, unfortunately, is all-wheel, and I can't take the front drive shaft out, or I can't take the front CV shafts out, because the way that this transfer case works is there's a viscous coupler inside And if the front wheels don't move, the whole thing doesn't move. I found that out the hard way, because I went to jack up the front, and I had it turned around where the front was facing the house, and I jacked it up and it started rolling backwards. It was actually the day that these wheels showed up. I didn't know that. I thought that since it was in park, it would stay still. That is obviously not the case. So needless to say, I had to drop the front really quick. It had the tires on it still, and I had to drop it real quick so that it didn't roll down that driveway and end up in their front yard or in their living room. So yeah, can't do that. So I've got to do a street tune or find somebody that has an all-wheel drive dyno. I did. Excuse me. If anybody's familiar with the company, the LS Experts, they're in Georgia like I am, and they quoted me $550 for a street tune, which I don't know if that's good or not. I feel like that's a shitload of money just to use a computer, but it is what it is, I guess. But I have to get the check engine light fixed. I have to get rid of the rear. I have to get rid of the rear O2 sensors. I have to get all that done. They'll tune it. They'll ask me a bunch of stuff like, do you want the speedometer to be this? Do you want it to do that? Because even though these wheels are bigger, the speedometer is still accurate. So if it says I'm going 85, I'm going 85. If I'm going 80, I'm going 80. If I'm going 20, I'm going 20, stuff like that. Because sometimes when you put bigger wheels and tires on something, especially with oversized tires like off-road tires, they do tend to go off by at least 5 miles an hour. So, and when you change gear ratios, that also throws it off. Because the Crown Vic, for example, came with 273 gears. Now it's got 327s. So it says I'm going 10 miles an hour faster than I actually am. So that's stuff you need to be careful of and be aware of. But yeah, and I found every opportunity I could today to romp on it and get on it. I just love the way it sounds now. I need to get the exhaust fixed just so that way it stops rattling and sounds like shit. I might get all the exhaust welded just because it would just look nicer and I wouldn't have to deal with no leaks. So, but when I do when I do the cam swap or cam replacement, whatever you want to call it, I am going to do head gaskets because I am going to take the head off to fix that bolt that's broken off. I have an extractor and all that stuff, so I want to be able to do it the right way, and it should come out with no issues. So that, and I'm going to change the fucking rollers and all that shit, and the can't think of what they are, but anyway, you get what I'm saying. The valve train will be completely redone, all that stuff, and I'll do that here. If I sell the car, then I obviously can't do that because I won't have a way of doing it, because I don't have a way to get to work if this is torn down, unless I use a couple of days of vacation and do it while I'm here, or I literally knock it out in the 2 days I'm off. So anyway, I'm talking too much. It's already 13 minutes in, or 13 and 15 seconds. So anyway, that's it. Yukon's back on the road, all 424s. That piece of shit, still a piece of shit. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Hope everybody has a good day. Oh, and I have an Instagram now. It's literally just for the channel. I'm going to post all that stuff on it, so I'll link it in the description from now on. I have my YouTube linked on it, so if you want to follow me, you can. If you don't, that's cool too. I don't care. So anyway, hope y'all have a good day. I'll see you later.